Alright, and we are back live now here at Daytona, but as you can see, it has gone from day to night, and these guys have got their second hauler out. We know that haulers can only carry 2 cars, so they've brought 3 haulers. Well, actually, they've only brought 2 here to Daytona. There's another one that's already sitting down at Talladega, as now we are going to go 30 laps here in the NASCAR Xfinity cars, as we have just about 3.5 minutes remaining in open practice here. After seeing that amazing finish there at the end of the Xfinity, the K&N race, this should be very, very interesting to see how these cars interact, because I know if we're not on a plate track, well, actually, no, I can even say with the plate track, the draft with these cars is nothing like the K&N cars. The K&N cars, for some reason, seem to be the best drafting cars out there. The B cars used to be a lot of fun, and it seems that with the latest build, the A car has gotten more attention and is more stable and more secure to drive than this Xfinity car, because when they updated the car and the tire models, they also took about 2 inches off of each side of the spoiler, and the 2 inches that they took off the side, they stacked on top of it. So it's almost like you've got a giant wing on the back, as you can see right there. So now, when you're behind a car, you literally can't see anything but. As we creep down to the 1 minute mark here, we see we've got the 90, the 26, the 44, and the 9 here, pack racing. See the 27 doing some donuts there. Now, the top 30 from the last race is what we will see here in this field. Now, at the end of this race, only the top 20 will advance to the final race in the trucks at Talladega. As we are running out here, this will put an end to practice. The checker flag is going to come out here in practice, so that'll get these guys ready to go here for another 30-lap shootout. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Now the top 10 here is going to get inverted. as they roll off here. We'll be 1 lap away here from starting our second race. You can see the field of 30 pulling out onto the track. So less than half a lap away here from taking the green flag at Daytona. As you can see, we are now into the second of the Challenge Race Series here. The track has cooled off. It has matched the air temperature, so with these temperatures down, we should be in for some very, very interesting racing. So as the pace car gets ready to head off down pit road, we're getting ready to kick the tires and light the fires as the green flag is about to come out, and we are underway here. 30 laps to go at Daytona. Saddle Racing Association Homes Now Super Speedway Challenge.
Now these cars are going to draft a little bit different than the K&N cars, guys. It doesn't have quite a shovel on the nose as the K&N does, so they should be able to get up there and kind of push each other a little bit more.
The only one thing that I have noticed about these cars is you can get up there and push, but they are a lot more prone, just like the K&Ns, to actually, if you don't hit right, it's going to be a disaster. And as you can see by the way that the field is kind of spreading out right now, these cars, if you do not stay nose to tail, it is very easy to break and lose the draft here. So you've got to stay either tucked right up behind somebody's ass the entire time and only stick it out to breathe it, or what we've noticed with running the Xfinity cars is you actually use the technique of breathing the car to get a run on the car in front of you. That way you can stay glued to them on the back stretch. Now, when we go to Talladega with the trucks, it's going to be a different story, seeing how Talladega's got that infamous bump in the tri-oval, where Daytona here is nice and smooth all the way around. But still, nonetheless, you really got to be a lot more draft dependent with these cars, because it does not take much to lose it, and you will start sailing. Oh, as we see the 13 hard to the inside wall there. He's able to gather it up, stays off the racing surface, so the caution will not come out. That would be the 13 of David Warren. As up front right now, the battle for the lead is between the 44 of David Anderson and the 112 of Harry Tiller. So despite seeing that incident there with the 13 car, it appears the 20 got into the back. The 26 got into the back of the 13 and sent him down the hill, and he had that hard impact there with the inside wall there at pit road. He was able to maintain car control, and luckily we did not see the caution flag come out. So we can see that one car back there. He is slowly going to start fading in the distance, because he is right now has already passed the bubble of losing the draft. It's going to take 2 or more cars to be able to try and get up there, but they're still not going to have the speed that this main pack has. As you can see already, the distance that the main pack has gained over that one car. So right now he is sitting lone dog, as these guys are just going to march away from him. Now you can see there are cars back there. If he was to feather the throttle a little bit, and in the event that a caution comes out, he'll be back there with him. But if this stays green, he's going to need to try and get with as many cars as he can, because within a lap right there, they've probably pulled almost a second on him. So once again, as we can see, traditional Daytona, the outside line is going to have the momentum. As we see the 112 of Harry Tiller, he's going to drop to the bottom, and he's going to take over the lead on the inside. You see a little bit of checking there. The 112 is going to stay on the bottom, and we see the 44. He's going to make the crossover move, and he wants that spot back. So David Anderson back to the front on the bottom line. And then now we see the 65 of Marty Ray in the picture, as he is the first car there on the outside line. Behind him we have the 23 of Gary Champion. And then behind him the 77 of Michael Cosey Jr. As we see a look right there from the 86 of Adam Eisenhower. These guys are getting a little bit more, oh, we had wreck on the backstretch. Still no yellow yet. The caution has not come out yet.
Caution.
Yeah, there it is, finally. We're going to go back and take a look at this. And we're going to go with the 112 here. It'll be Harry Tiller. This is leading up to the events that happen. You see there, the 77 drops down in behind him. There's a 65 and a 23 on the outside. They get on the backstretch here. Looks like the 112 thought he was clear to come up, and then he gets hooked by the 65. And then, as you can see, it's just a stack up there on the inside. And I'm surprised that it took as long as it did for the caution flag to come out, but the majority of the field had already passed, so it looks like that was just a missed timing of coming up from the bottom line to the high side. And that's going to bring out the first caution here at Daytona with the Xfinity cars. So let's see what everybody decides to do here, as we are under the first caution. Who's going to come down? It looks like pretty much the entire field is going to come down and pit here. You see him coming down. Unlike a lot of leagues I've seen, they stay to the outside till they're close to their pit box, which is what you're supposed to do, and if this was real NASCAR, you'd be penalized for it. Looks like just a little splash and go there for the 44. We see the remainder of the cars here getting their pit services. The 26 still sitting on pit road getting damaged. He might be towing. Some of these cars might have been damaged bad enough that they have to tow, so we'll get back up here to the front of the field and give you a quick rundown here of the top 10. Out front, it is the 82 of, well, they had to come back around to the timing line first. The only disadvantage of running the telemetry, unless it's in real time, you have to wait for all the cars to pass the scoring loop to get the correct one. Alright, so we're going to let the top 10 here go past the stripe before I run through the field, because I can see the 82 clearly in front of the 44, and IRTVO is telling me otherwise. So once they all pass the stripe, now the scoring order will get leveled out. As the lights are out, they're going to double up, and your top 10 is going to consist of the 44 of David Anderson, which it keeps doing, because if they pass each other, it messes things up. So the 82, Daniel Harrington out front. You see the 44 looks like he might be, I think he might have just killed his ignition there. But that does mess with things. So Daniel Harrington right now being squadron leader, David Anderson second, Marty Ray in the 65 third, Gary Champion in the 23 fourth, Jeff Figlin in the 98 fifth, Earl Arts Jr. in the 61 sixth, James Peterson in the 58 7th, Chris Akers in the 54 8th, Harry Tiller in the 112 9th, and the 00 of Dwayne Cooper is going to round out the top 10 as we get ready to restart this race with 20 laps remaining. So we've already seen what we typically see at a play track is sometimes you think you're clear, but not clear enough to where you could make the decision to get out there. We saw him he tried to get a run on the inside, but the outside line was there, and the end result was not pretty. And as we see, the 112 is cycling to the back. Pace car is getting ready to pull off. Let's crank it up.
Green.
Oh, we got a wreck.
Oh yeah. No caution though. Not yet. It looks like we're going to stay green flag here. They spun down to the inside, so if iRacing didn't deem the caution, we're going to stay green flag.
That was car number 23 of Gary Champion. I'm going to see if I can't figure out what happened there.
As I'll continue the live coverage here, as David Anderson is going to lead that lap. We see the 82 there of Daniel Harrington. He is the first car on the inside line, being pushed by the 65 of Marty Ray. Right now, David Anderson is wanting nothing more than to get to the front here and maintain that lead. As Gary Champion was our race winner of race 1 with the K&Ns here during the last race, and unfortunately it does not look like he's going to make a repeat win in the second race. But at the line that time, once again, it will be the 44 of David Anderson leading another lap here. As right now he is clear to drop, but with 18 laps to go, it's not really the time where I would consider it to be safe, because once you recycle yourself down to the bottom line, that just leaves the door open for everybody on the high side to come up and do the same thing that you just did. So you really, really, really have to put faith in the people that are behind you, or if you're behind somebody, you really got to put faith that they're not just going to bail and drop to the bottom. So it looks like the 82 might have had a couple little stutters there, so as they get to the line this time, we will have the 82 of Daniel Harrington leading that lap. Now, it's good to see that the car that last time on the green flag run got shuffled out, as we see that the 82, he's down on the apron. I think he's going to either got forced down there or he's going to recycle to the back, because we did see some connection issues. I'm guessing he's going to stay down there and just recycle to the back of the field. That way he doesn't cause anything to happen. Unfortunate for the 82, but that's safer than being up at the front and blinking out and causing, as we're 3 wide here as they're going into turn 1. 3 wide, 2 deep.
So back with Gary Champion there in the 23, it looks like he tried to come down where there wasn't quite a hole and come across the nose of the 00 and went to the inside, self-spin, down low to the apron, doesn't hit anything, gets it gathered back up and back on track. So,
and they were, oh, we hit the 54, drop down the apron there. Oh, we got a wreck. 87's going around. Big wreck, big wreck. Caution is out. That is the second big wreck here. We look and see which car we're going to go to for that one. Amazing save by the 27, because if that was anybody else, I don't know if it was me, I probably would have wrecked the car. You see the 27 being scored right now as the leader. He is slowing down the checkup for the pace car, which is on the backstretch right now. So the field will slow down and collect the pace car. All right, so we're going to try and bring up the a good shot here for what happened, and we're going to go with the 2 car. So this is during the 3 wide madness, and this is leading up into what happens here. So as we're riding, we're going to see exactly what goes wrong. The 2 of Rick Seabrand's. He's right there, that black and white car on the bottom line. Going into turn 3, everything right now looking okay. We see a check up there in front, and it's just a coordinating effect there between the, looks like the 98, the 58, and all that. It just, there's a check up on the inside line, and at these speeds, the drivers really don't have that much that they can do, and unfortunately, stomping on the brakes that hard is going to cause a chain reaction, and that's exactly what we saw there. So tough break for all those guys involved there as the laps are winding down. It was just a checkup on the low side that unfortunately involved at least 6 cars there, as there was just nowhere to go. And when you have a car that decelerates that fast in front of you, you have no reaction time to hit the brakes or make an evasive move, especially when you have cars on your outside as well. So it's just one of those racing deals there, and unfortunately with plate track racing and the speeds that these cars are running, it's all too common that we see it. And anybody who's ever run an official race here with any of the cars, they can attest the same exact thing. So while we're under caution, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll return hopefully with the lights out on the pace car and a fresh rundown of the top 10. And we are back. We are still under caution. We're going into turn 3 right now. Hopefully we see the lights go off and we'll double the field back up and restart with 11 laps to go here at Daytona. So the lights are out. We're going to double the field back up. The 27 of Spencer Prate is going to be our leader here on the restart. Starting outside of him will be the 90 of Michael DeGroat, Paul Servant in the 9. Third spot. Fourth goes to the 54 of Chris Akers. Earl Arts Jr. in the 61 will be restarting 5th. The 44 of David Anderson in 6th. Dwayne Cooper in the 00 7th. The 98, or reverse that, the 98 of Jeff Figlin 7th. The 00 of Dwayne Cooper 8th. Kevin Hash in the 03 9th. And the 77 of Michael Cozy Jr. will round out the top 10. As we are already in the Crank It Up camera, this is undoubtedly the best camera to ever run for a restart, especially for the first lap as they get up to speed here as they're making their way through 3 and 4. We're going to wait for the pace car to drop, the green flag to come out, let these cars wind up. 11 laps to go here at Daytona. Can we finish this one under green, or are we not done with seeing some drivers seeing a hole and there not being a hole?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting run to the finish here. Hopefully it stays green.
And the green flag is out. 11 laps to go at Daytona. Let's see what happens. As you see at 27, looks like he's having a little bit of connection issues there. He's blinking a couple times there as we were riding on board. At the line, easily, it's going to be the 90 of Michael DeGroat as he and I believe that was the 54 of Chris Akers. They are both going to be able to... Oh, and we got a spin, and they're piling up on the bottom. Caution is out, and they're wrecking behind.
Is it like a protein shake or a
and
bar
they're still
or
wrecking.
anything
Wow.
So, apparently, objects in motion tend to stay in motion until they hit the wall. Newton's law is right. Horsepower is how hard you hit the wall. Torque is how far you drag the wall with you.
Ain't that the truth?
As we see the 27 trying to limp it to pit road. No sound coming out of that engine, so he is definitely hoping that he can roll it to pit road without getting towed. So you see him slowly making it there. Alright, so we're going to go and we're going to look from the 54's point of view on this one. So here we go. Let's see what exactly goes on. You can see the 27 blinking out a little bit. That kind of caused everybody to move around a little bit. As we rewound it a little bit here. Here's where they make the drop down. The 90 and the 54 clear. Now here's where we're going to see the wreck happening. We see the 54 getting to the back of the 90, which stacks up into the 27, and nowhere to go as they stack up behind there. And unfortunately, the 27 got the raw end of the stick there, as we see the 76 spinning around a little bit. But it's just these cars are so touchy on everything.
These guys know better to lay that bumper to somebody going into the corner. The car's gonna come around. Stop doing it. You know, I mean, if you're gonna lay onto a bumper going into the corner, expect to be sending somebody around.
I think when we move into the next race, with that being the trucks, they're a little bit more forgiving, but it seems like these Xfinity cars get really upset easily. You can take the air off the back of the car just by where you are, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be the car behind you. It could be the car that's above you. If he comes down close enough to your rear quarter, he can actually get you aero loose through the corner. But what we saw there is just the prime cardinal sin of do not bump a car in a corner. It'll definitely knock the car loose, as we saw, and it stacked up quite a few cars. So once again, we're faced with the Russian roulette here. We're down to a handful of laps when we take the green flag here, and are we going to see another 3-wide finish, or are we going to see a checker or wrecker? All right, so as we look at the top 10 right now, out front it is the 61 of Earl Arts Jr., Dwayne Cooper in the 00, finally seeing that 00 up front after not seeing anything during the K&N race. Dwayne is currently sitting right now in second spot, the 90 of Michael DeGroat in third, the 112 of Harry Tiller fourth. Chris Akers in the 54 will be your fifth place restarter. The number 9 of Paul Servant, sixth place. The 23 of Gary Champion, 7th. Rick Seabrands in the 2 car will restart 8th. The 98 of Jeff Figlin will restart 9th. And rounding out the top 10 will be the 65 of Marty Ray. So hopefully this time by we will see the lights go out on the pace car, and we will restart with 5 laps remaining here in race number 2 out of 3 here in the the Super Speedway Challenge. We see a wave by going around. He will race around and catch the tail end of the field here. It's still hard to believe that Brett Bodine, or it might be Jeff Bodine, he's such a midget inside that car. As the lights are out on the pace car, we're going to double him up. Dwayne Cooper in that 00 right now. He's got exactly what he wants to see. Nothing but clean open air in front of him here on this restart. So look for the 00, the 112, and the 9 to definitely capitalize on this restart. You see the tail end of the field catching up here. So, Alan, anything can happen. We saw it in the last race with the K&N cars. Any predictions or jinxes that you want to put on the field here?
Well, I did just get off the radio with Dwayne Cooper out there.
Oh, God.
Pro, so we'll see what happens there. But, you know, these guys got to have 5 laps to go crossing the line here. So, no holds barred. Hold it to the floor.
Well, we all know what happens when you talk to Dwayne. Your curse comes into full effect. As the pace car comes out of turn 4, it's going to duck down, and let's see what they can do with 5 laps remaining here at Daytona.
Green flag.
Green flag is out. Let's see what the outside line can do here. Now, unlike the K&N cars, these cars only take up maybe a lap to get up to full speed versus the K&Ns, which take 2 to reach the plus 200 mile an hour, around 205, 206. These cars will probably see maybe 203, 204 tops. We get some great shots here from the Crank It Up camera. So as they come to take 4 to go here, right now, this time by it looks like it's going to be the 00, Dwayne Cooper leading that one. Wow. He got that one by a millimeter or 2. But Dwayne is definitely one of the drivers that definitely knows how to work it on the outside line and is not afraid to take it 3, 4, 5, hell, even 12 wide if he can. So right now, he's got the 112 behind him, he's got the 9, he's got the 2. But on the inside, we've got some good pushers as well. So it's going to come down to who's got the best pushes. We see the 61 come up there to do a little bit of side drafting with the 00. As they come to the line again, this time it will be once again the 00, Dwayne Cooper, leading that lap as it's now 3 laps to go. Dwayne is looking to try and get down to that bottom line, but he was unable to clear it that time going into 1, so he's going to have to hang it out there for at least another lap. So we get an amazing shot there. I don't know how the hell Alan manages to plant those cameras in the track like that. But we see a little bit of rattlesnake in there in the back of the pack there, but up front everything that looks to be pretty good. The 00 has dropped to the bottom, so that will put Dwayne out front on the bottom. Now we've got to worry about the 112, the 9, the 2, and I believe the 65. Yes, the 65 as well on the outside, as now it's 2 laps to go. Oh, we got a wreck. Big wreck. Big wreck. This is going to end this one. This is going to end this one here because as the rule goes, these ones, the first 2 races are based on time. So at the time the caution came out, the 00 of Dwayne Cooper was scored as the leader. So that will end this race. We're going to take a look here and see what caused that one. Alright, so we're going to go on board with the 98 of Jeff Figlin and see if we can get a handle on what happened there. Oh, we see the 98 got turned up there by the 03, it looks like, and all hell ensued back behind that. See the 44, David Anderson, involved in that as well. A tough break there for the 98. As we see, that is a heavily damaged Ford Mustang there. As we are on the white flag lap, this is going to bring them across the line. Bringing it home with the win here in race 2 is going to be the 00 of Dwayne Cooper. And Alan, I think this is the first time in cyber racing history, in all the times that we've broadcasted, that you've talked to Dwayne, and for once you didn't kill him.
Yeah, he must taken his steady hand pills or something, because he held on to it.
Well, he definitely made the power move there, and as they cross the line there, that is the checkered flag. So fireworks are going off here at Daytona. 00 with the win, so we're going to go ahead and throw up the results real quick here because we have to get out of the servers as fast as possible. So coming home with the win is going to be the 00 of Dwayne Cooper, the 112 of Harry Tiller. He's going to bring it home second, the 61 of Earl Arts Jr. third, Paul Servant in the 9 fourth, the 90 of Michael DeGroat fifth, Rick Seabrands in the 2 sixth, Chris Akers in the 54 seventh, Marty Ray in the 65 eighth, the 23 of Gary Champion will come home ninth, the 86 of Adam Eisenhower is going to round out the top 10. 11th, we have the 03 of Kevin Hash, Raymond Rittenhauer in the 87 12th, Michael Cuzzy Jr. in the 77 13th, the 20 of Michael Coe 14th, the 66 of Bobby Tinch 15th, Daniel Harrington in the 82 16th, James Peterson in the 58 17th, Artie Peterson Jr. in the 1 car 18th, Lance Marsh in the 28th, 19th, and rounding out the top 20 that will advance is Scott Warren in the 76. Now, you will see that there are more cars in here on another page, but they do not carry on. So we are going to jump out of this server, and in about another 10 minutes, we will be back up with the final race with the C trucks. But before we do that, we are going to bring in Dwayne here and get a quick interview before we jump out of here. And apparently Alan doesn't have the permission to move Dwayne, so we'll just talk to him later. But we're going to jump out of this server. That way they can go ahead and close down the next one. Gives about 10 minutes, and we will be back up live with the last race of the night. 50 laps with the open trucks at Talladega.